One of the things that we say as Americans is that we're free. And typically that means we're free to do anything we want. But that's not what freedom is. As you turn on the evening news and you get a glimpse of where America is right now, you see that America's confused in terms of their identity, their role in the world. They're confused concerning the family. What's the role of a father? What's the role of a mother? They're confused when it comes to even our own sexuality. And never before has there been a generation where kids are going to be raised and they have to literally decide, am I a boy? Am I a girl? And with everything that is happening in the world today, this is something that is being added to the confusion and the decision-making of children and parents.
Freedom is probably the most confused word in America right now. Because freedom doesn't mean you're free to do what you want to do. Freedom means that you're free to do what you ought to do, which is good. You're free to do good. And in America right now, we think freedom means you just do whatever you want. And that's not how a society thrives at all. At all. We have to think of the other person. We have to be humble. We have to be ridiculously merciful to people and elevating them and kind and gracious. And in America, we don't do this now. Some do. I can't say we all do. But this is what we need to do, is put others first. Put others first. Think about the other person before you think about me. And look at America today. It's wrong. We're backwards. It's me first, maybe others. If they're my family, maybe I'll think about them. But God, we can't even have, proclaim Him at the steps of a Capitol. So we're doing it backwards. And when we do it backwards, that's where we lose our freedom. Because we lose the freedom to be truly, truly happy.
The scripture says that it was for freedom that Christ set you free. Therefore, do not return to a yoke of bondage. When it comes to freedom, we have to understand from a biblical perspective that freedom is not the privilege to do anything you want. You're actually not free to do anything you want, but you're free to do what's right. And God gives us this amazing freedom. To be created in the image and likeness of God means that you have the ability to reason, but it also means that you have a free will. And that free will was risky when God created us. Sometimes I kind of joke about, I wish that God would have just created us so that we wouldn't sin, or we didn't have the opportunity to sin. But that is kind of like a robot. Nobody wants a robot in a love relationship. You want someone who chooses you freely. And that's what freedom is about. And so God gave us that freedom to choose Him, to choose life, to choose holiness, to choose His will. But clear back in the Garden of Eden, what did Adam and Eve do? They used their freedom to choose the creation over the Creator. And that's when sin entered the world. Some people say, wouldn't it be nice to be back in the Garden of Eden? And I'll say to them, where do you think you are? You're in a world today in America where you can have anything you want within 5, 10, 15 minutes. You can order anything you want. You can dress in any way that you want. We are surrounded by good. But sin is when we choose the good over the Creator, or choose the created thing over the Creator. So yeah, you do have freedom. You have freedom to make choices. But the choice that we are called to make is to choose Christ, is to choose God.